Asia is full of some incredible airlines, with some of our favourites including Thai Airways 787, Cathay Pacific in general, and two incredible airlines we got to experience are based in Taipei. EVA Airlines 787 was an absolute dream, so today we're trying their rival China Airlines, in business class on the Boeing 777. Today's journey starts off in the thriving, busy shopping district of Bukit Bintang, at the luxurious and very grand JW Marriott Hotel, where I'm catching the metro to the airport. So the first thing is we're taking the green line from Bukit Bintang, and we're making one change for the red line. But I just have to point out, it is so beautifully air conditioned in here. It's nice. And having made it to Plaza Premium interchange, it's way up into the sky to catch the pink monorail to KL Central. So I made it to KL Central. There's literally one stop from Plaza Premium, and now heading to the KL Central off the airport. So unfortunately bad time, I've just missed the train, which means it's now a 20-minute wait. Time for a long walk. So I've just arrived to check in, and it's a little bit chaotic. To be fair to China Airlines, the check-in had only just opened, and travelling in business class, there were only 15 people ahead of me. Unfortunately, time was beginning to drag. Once I got to the front of the counter, I was happily checked in. Probably one of the slowest check-ins I've had, but to be fair, the flight is really full, and it's a 777-300, so that's over like 300-400 people. Took about 22 minutes to get from the back of the queue to the check-in desk. Reasonable. They're really nice though, to be fair. Before we go any further, there are some token decorations to Christmas. And wait, what's that? I'm not sure what it does, but it's probably pretty scary to children. Anyway, if you head around the immigration area, there's a walkway, and if you have a lot of time to kill, this leads past the McDonald's to some pretty glorious views of the planes, and there's a reasonable amount of seating too. So that was pretty cool, and this place doesn't require checking in or going through immigration. You can literally just walk up the ramp and spot planes to your heart's content. And you can also pass the time avoiding the killer robots. And there's a giant pink aeroplane for the kids. I repeat, just for the kids. Now, as long as you're travelling internationally, head down the escalators and through immigration, where you can check out one of the largest, both by number and by size, airplane collections in the world. Now there really are some really exceptional lounges here, because this is the home of Malaysian Airlines. They've got one in the main terminal, an international, which is pretty good because it's got a business class section, and also a first class, which is even better. But China Airlines has gone for Plaza Premium, because obviously the cost is lower. And having realised I'm actually going the wrong way, the lounge is actually before gate G1, up a set of escalators. Plaza Premium has some pretty amazing lounges. In fact, the one in Singapore Changi Terminal 4 was brilliant. Seats overlooking the airport show, greenery, and a lot of different seating types. Kuala Lumpur is no different, except for it's incredibly busy and really popular. Surely all these people here can't be travelling on this China Airlines flight. And just FYI, if you don't have priority pass or business class access, this lounge is not cheap. At 233 ringgit, that's pretty expensive. So it's not a bad lounge, it's actually really nice. It's just a shame it's so incredibly busy, which kind of takes away from the design, but someone's really put a lot of thought and effort into that. As for the foods, pretty good, like the laksa, chicken, curry, all good stuff. Anyway, that's enough of me on camera for a bit. Let's check out today's route map before catching a bus, because the shuttle train has been undergoing maintenance for quite a number of months now, and we need to transfer it to the international terminal. Today's journey will cover a distance of just over 2,000 miles, but it's a really healthy journey time of 4 hours and 50 minutes. That's plenty of time to enjoy, review and record the journey. Now, I can't believe I didn't realise this until today, but perhaps that's because I'm usually distracted by the large clean windows with a never-ending buffet of wide-body airplanes. But besides the bar and the cafe upstairs, I never realised I'm kicking myself that in the circle in the middle of the terminal, that garden display is not just for decoration, and you can actually go inside and it's totally free. If I haven't bored you yet and you're still watching, firstly, thank you. Today's flight I felt was not the deal of the century, but quite reasonable price wise for a 4-hour flight. Being in business class, this also means you get to board first, which is always an advantage as a travel blogger, allowing me to record every last detail. You'd be amazed the funny looks I get when I start talking about seat pitch. Besides being laid out in a 1-to-1 configuration, there certainly is a lot of vinyl plastic wood effect. The cabin also appears quite dark, with orange hints from the LEDs. Believe me, it looks a lot better in person, it's just my Samsung phone doesn't always do well with low lighting. Welcome aboard China Airlines 777-300. It's beautiful. And just before I settle in, the premium economy behind me looks pretty plush, but it's in a very standard 242 seat layout. I would happily try this in the future. Let's have a little seat tour. Those who fly a lot won't be surprised by the features, because it's also used by Cathay Pacific, American Airlines and many others. The tray table is just below the in-flight entertainment screen, and the footwell, while slightly awkward in shape, is pretty comfortable. The side table to my left is quite pretty, and hides two very useful, if not very shallow, storage pockets. Besides your phone, you aren't going to get much in there. The second one is a little deeper, and full of gadgets. Besides the headphones, which we'll get to later, you'll find the control from the in-flight entertainment, a universal plug socket, headphone jack and 2 USB-A ports. Just above this is a very pretty little side lamp that really completes the look. Safety information, and just by my head is a useful reading light. Underneath the side table are some of the easiest and most user-friendly controls I've ever seen to adjust the seat. And on my right, what is usually additional storage can also be raised or lowered, which makes the space wider when the seat's in flat mode. So firstly you get this really nice silky pillow. Also get bedding, which is pretty good to be fair. I've also been offered a welcome drink. I think it was mulberry base, but I'm not totally sure. But it was absolutely delicious. China Airlines' safety video is pretty safe. It doesn't rock the boat, and it could be a little bit more exciting, but it'll do.
各位贵宾，根据法令规定，在飞行途中会发生电波干扰的个人电子用品，全程禁用。现在，请您确认已经关闭电源。
Ladies and gentlemen,
while I freshen up with this hot towel, I've noticed that the centre of the window, and this isn't unique to China Airlines, are a little bit scratched. I'll do my best to get clear shots out of the window. I'm not ashamed or afraid to say this, but I did watch the Barbie movie, and yes, I thoroughly enjoyed it. If that didn't put you off watching, China Airlines is in the same boat as many other legacy carriers, with a great selection for both Asian options and Hollywood, especially on a 4-hour flight. The headphones were really robust, if not a little worn. Good quality sound and comfortable, just not quite as premium as some other airlines out there. It's always nice to receive a paper menu, even on a short flight, even if it's not great for the environment. Here's what was available on this medium distance flight. There is only one other airline that comes to mind that loves wood this much. If you know the answer, drop it in the comments below. Otherwise, the meal service started with a pack of mixed nuts and dried fruit, and accompanied this with a very local cup of oolong tea. A canapé of chicken satay and vegetable skewers was delivered shortly after, and for those living in Malaysia, this will make you feel right at home. Now this will be a sore subject for some people out there, but I like my food to arrive at the same time, but the appetizer main course arrived on the same tray. Grilled scallop with sun-dried tomato, chutney, this was delicious. I haven't had fish in a while, so this was a nice change. And for the main course, I went for the Hainanese chicken rice, given that the perak rendang was spicy and the red snapper, I never find enough meat on it. Some airlines can be a bit stingy with the meal, but China Airlines is not one of them. I was also served garlic bread, which is becoming a popular option in the skies. A very fresh cup of different fruits, with dragon fruit being one of my favourites, but it's not common outside of Asia. And then the dessert, this was perfect. Salted caramel cheesecake, I'm in heaven. With the cabin plunged into darkness and full of oolong tea, it was inevitable. The bathroom on China Airlines Boeing 777 is pretty standard. Plastic everywhere, but there are a few nice touches like the lights in the mirror, and the window which you can only really enjoy if you're standing up. There were a few amenities from pure altitude, both a hand cream and a scented spray. It does leave you wondering though if there may be further goodies on a long haul flight. Now it's back to my seat to try the lie flat position and get a quick nap. Putting the seat into bed mode was so easy. You simply have to push and hold this button. And with the small armrest to your right down, there is a lot of space for your shoulders. It was extremely comfortable, or as much as it can be, even with the smaller footwell. And having found a really comfortable position, I wished the flight was longer. Sadly, we were beginning an approach, a nighttime approach, into Taipei. Having arrived just before 8 PM, I have just over 2 hours to get to my posh hostel for the night, before the cut-off for the check-in, so I was into the terminal for a very concise review of the flight. Thanks so much, bye bye. Thank you. That was such a good flight. The first thing I thought was the wood effect on the walls was maybe going to be a little bit tacky, but actually I love the fact that they're really keys into the whole China, bamboo, no pandas on board kind of theme. The food was really good. Chicken was a tiny bit on the bland side, however, they did give 2 little sauce cups which I think you were meant to use on them. Because I didn't know what they were, I didn't actually use them, but I think that would have really enhanced the flavour. Dessert was delicious, and the oolong tea, I could drink that all day long. It's a good seat, nice size screen, I love the little panels next to it, good for storing stuff, and it's very comfortable in the flat mode. So, would I rate China Airlines? Yes, I would love to try them again, but on a long haul route, and maybe the A350. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. See you on the next journey.